Colores by J Balvin. 10 songs, 28 minutes long. Dan made me listen to Latin music. So,
it's in the drop category.
It's in the super drop category.
Yeah. J Balvin is less familiar for our like English speaking predominantly in America, haha, I have metrics fans. But it's the thing about that's kind of explained to Sean before we started recording.
Oh, the Latin,
I wasn't explaining, but like we're just like
we already know this.
Like Latin American music is like so an entirely different world, and it's really popular, and alone it's more popular than like most of American music.
100%.
And the fans, not even just for Latin music, but like the fans of Latin, like Latino fans in who are fans of American music are like super crazy passionate about it.
Just music in general, they're always all my favorite artists I follow on my personal account that I see like posts and stuff, they're always like, come to insert Latin American country here. Every single one like just randomly puts it down, and that's the people I see the most.
Yeah.
It's like, come to
Argentina, come to Brazil, come to Mexico, come to Guadalajara,
come to Peru,
like,
come to this and that. And it's really cool to see that, but I'm like, wow, these guys have crazy fans. And those tend to be some of the best crowds I've seen as well. When I've watched a lot of live streams, I was like, this is in Rainbow's tour, so 2009 maybe, when they were in Buenos Aires for Radiohead. The crowd was completely singing along for like the entire show.
No, yeah,
I'm like, this is awesome, because then you get to some American crowds and they're
literally like holding their
phones and doing some other shit, and like, yeah, it's one thing that we really haven't touched too much on it during Audioface, so
here and there
a little bit. But anyways, we have an album from J Balvin, and I've heard of J Balvin before because I know he's mega popular. This is Latin pop, as I like to call
it. Multiple award-winning artist. And so Colores is a concept album, if we've ever heard of one. It is, as you can imagine, colores is a Spanish word for colors. And so each of
That's why I said colors at the beginning of the podcast.
Naturally. And so it's basically each song is loosely, depending on how many color theorists are listening to this podcast.
Yes, colors, yes.
Yeah, each song is loosely based off of a color, and therefore like the emotion and the feeling and some of like the passion that comes from that. And so in it, you get like this sort of like serving charcuterie board almost of these different vibes and such. And because it's really short, and because the songs themselves are pretty short, I really like it.
I've listened to a little bit of Latin. I call it Latin pop because that's the best. Like,
this is Latin pop. Because I've heard Latin indie and Latin alternative, and all these things exist. They're just in Spanish, but this is definitely Latin pop.
100%, and it's fun to listen to. I mean, Latin music in general, especially Brazilian music. If you ever listen to that, it just makes you want to move. Like you hear the beats and everything. All you want to do is just pick up somebody and start dancing with them and stuff. That's always the theme of it. It was fun to listen to for sure. Obviously I wish I understand more. But the cool thing is I'm like, oh, these are all different colors, and you can actually feel the theme of the color in the song. What it is. If it's you have like pink, red, green, black, white. It's different little moods for the album, and I like that because I've heard of different versions of people doing this, but this was cool as a concept album itself, or concept. I'd say call it a drop. It's pretty short for that. But I know you're gonna be hearing a lot of this shit in the Latin community for sure. But yeah, I had fun with it. I need to look up the lyrics and have an actual translation to get a little bit more into it, because the beat itself, I could feel it a little bit for the song. Sometimes it can get overwashed by how generic it can feel, but then in the lyrics itself, I need to look that up and see what would make a little bit more sense into it.
Yeah, I'm reserving some of my usual judgment for the fact that I had about a 40% understanding rate of the lyrics, as like Spanish is maybe my third language. But I overall, like, sometimes even the lyrics can be a distraction, and you can just like understand the music, and you need to understand
the feeling and everything, the emotion that's put into it.
You can especially understand the voice as an instrument if you are listening to music in a language you don't understand, because the vocals can be just as important in maintaining like the rhythm and the melody and all these other fundamental parts of music.
Sigur Rós is a great example of it. Literally, their songs don't have lyrics to them. Like they're just sounds for that reason.
Yeah.
You can put your own interpretation into it.
And also gives you a little bit of a mindset into the fact that a lot of the world's popular music is Western, therefore English. Yes. And so a lot of the world's music fans who do not speak English basically have much of this experience with the music anyways. But For me, the second part of the album, kind of starting with Rosa, but really getting into Morado and Verde, where it really got fun to me. Especially Morado, Verde, and Negro, because Morado and Verde are very like fun, kind of poppy, dancey songs. And then Verde especially. But then once you get into Negro, it is almost like a contrasting version. And by the way, Verde is green and Negro is black. But they're almost contrasting in the way they sound. They're very similar, even the same like drum samples and beats they use. But Negro is very like eerie and like mysterious, while Verde is just like a very fun, like this is the single on the pop album kind of song. And usually for pop artists, you're kind of looking for where did they place meaning and plant like concepts into these things. And at least in that song placement, I felt like it was really intentional and really well thought out.
Yeah. I liked it. It was fun. Thank you for broadening my horizons a little bit. I actually do want to do more international music in general, because that way we can get to a bigger audience, but then also makes us more well-rounded as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what I liked when you talked about your Eastern European music with Gigi. That was really cool for me as well, because I know a little bit of it. So I know like the trap side and whatnot for Eastern European music, because that's heavily influenced German music. But then there's so much stuff out there. You have Russian music, you have a bunch of Asian music and stuff, which we've done a little bit with BTS, but I want to get more into stuff like that. It's hard, obviously, because there's just two of us and we can only listen to so much. But I think if we could start sprinkling in more, it'd be cool to get that out to the people, broadening everyone's horizons. So.
We can definitely do that in like times.
Definitely not globalism.
Global. Definitely later.
The globalists.
Definitely not right now when we're like kind of drowning in music.
Yeah,
but later in the year, like around August,
when it
gets like kind of lull. Like usually we would take a break, but maybe like during that break we listen to a little bit of foreign music. And
I would like that.
You've also introduced me to like a lot of the non-English language music that I like today, so we're returning the favor here. My last thing I'll say, the ending song, because I'm always looking for like the good album ender. Blanco.
White. Yeah.
Yes, White.
That was a good song.
Really good.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's just a really good like I said, this is a really good vibe and sound to it. You really get what kind of Sean is saying, where like instantly listening to any of this music, whether it's down tempo or up tempo, kind of really makes you want to dance. And Blanco kind of shows that not dexterity, if you will, but like that flexibility in doing that. Arbitrary Scale, I'm gonna give this a cloth, like an N95 mask, but in front of a cloth mask. So it's like you're actually doing a little bit too much.
You're doing too much sauce.
You think you're super secure, but you're actually like not doing much, and you just look like an essay with a pen with a mask.
You get a ventilator, but it's made by Tesla, so it's the wrong ventilator, and you're just sitting there like, well, fuck. Thanks, Elon.
You get a ventilator, and your lungs have torque that allows you to charge them in 2.3 seconds.
And then Tesla takes away that charging power because you bought it off the used market.
Tesla takes away that charging power because you tweeted Elon Musk the wrong way.